One of the biggest challenges in Faribault over the next 3 years is the potential for economic instability, particularly in the light of shifts in the job market and inflationary pressures. This can impact housing affordability, local business sustainability, and overall community well-being. Some things are diversification of the local economy, encourage the growth of various sectors such as technology, healthcare, green energy to reduce the reliance on any single industry, support for the local businesses, workforce development, affordable housing initiatives, as always, community engagement. By proactively addressing these economic challenges, Faribault can work towards a more sustainable and thriving community.
I think the biggest challenge in our little city and across the nation is going to be the economy. If we can have a good, strong economy, that makes life, including government life, so much simpler. But we have a lot of unknowns right now. And the one thing that I think I can safely say is that we can't count on a lot of commercial growth over the next 3 years in Faribault. We have had tremendous commercial growth with, as I mentioned, some new companies coming to town and locating here. Also existing companies expanding here, existing companies continuing to relocate but stay in Faribault and provide employment and opportunity. And I don't think we can really count on that growth. And that growth is very key because that growth creates an expanded tax base, which spreads our tax levy out over more and more properties, which helps keep property taxes for residential homes in check. So therefore, we're going to have to be very, very conscious of spending and of how we collect those taxes to make it fair to everyone. I'll give you an example for spending. Our general levy, 70% of it is made up of personnel costs, roughly 70%, and approximately another 10% is made up of debt payments. Now, I'm very proud that we only have 10% of our general funding going to debt. I think that's very good for a city our size. But when you combine those two, that's 80% of our general fund that is already tied up, and we already know pretty much within reason what that's going to cost us the following year. That only leaves us 20% for variable spending on things such as construction projects, replacement of assets, things like that. So we have to be very conscious of how we collect the taxes, whether it's through property tax levies or whether it's through franchise fees, how we use our local government aid, which is very important, which is the money we get from the state. We have to be very conscious about how we use those methods and very conscious in eliminating excess spending to keep our spending as low as possible so that we can resist having huge impacts to the property taxes of citizens of Faribault.
So the biggest immediate challenge, in my opinion, is this year's tax levy. We are working extremely diligently to lower the percentage, okay, because we know the burden on our residents. However, Faribault is way behind the 8 ball in pay for our firefighters and our police officers. If we want to keep and retain good firefighters and police officers, we have to pay them. And unfortunately, that comes with the tax increase. So, but I know how great we have it with firefighters and police officers, and we need to retain them. We need to keep them and retain them. Should we address that?
So the biggest challenge in the next 3 years, if I were a genie in a bottle predicting, I would say in short, inflation, cost of living, housing is a big one, infrastructure, downtown, maintaining local industry, a few of the big ones. So present day office worker space has declined, especially since COVID, whereas there is a dangerously low rental capacity during a high demand for rental availability. We need local residents to realize that there is a unique niche for them to invest in downtown and become a part of this equitable trend to buy a structure, utilize the possibilities of a full-time home or even an income-driven property. There are local families currently that have done this. They're living in our downtown. They've bought a building. They're living more comfortably. They have more time to spend with family versus working multiple jobs. Time and change are two of the most difficult things to work through, as we can't control it. Development and change can take time. It can also bubble up emotions within our residents and the people that it affects. There will be times when our leaders in our community may need a refresher on why changes are taking place. Engaged communication with our residents and our city leaders is key. Avoiding a narrow focus or vision and seeing the whole picture is truly instrumental.